Welcome to another edition of the Sim Racing Garage. I'm Barry Rowland, and today we have a special guest with us today. We have Chris Smith from Proto SimTech pedals, who makes this fantastic PT-1 pedal set. And we're just going to ask Chris a few questions here to tell us a little bit about himself and how he got started in building these pedals and just get his thoughts on what's going on with them. So first thing I'd like to ask you, Chris, first of all, is thanks for coming all the way down to the Sim Racing Garage to show me these pedals.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me come down here. It's a good trip.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. It's like a 4-hour trip he did getting down here, so I appreciate him coming that far. First thing I want to ask you, Chris, is, well, how long have you been a sim racing enthusiast?
Well, I've always been a racing fan ever since I was a kid. I can remember watching races as early as maybe 5 or 6 years old on TV. And ever since I saw cars, I was always into cars. So I guess sim racing is sort of the natural progression of that. And I think right around the late 90s, early 2000s is when I got into it sort of seriously.
Right.
When I saw the GTR mod from Simbin, the first one before
Right.
it was ever a commercial product, I remember getting the Porsche on the track and looking at the wheels, and it had real 3D rims, and that just blew me away. And I decided to drive around the track, and I had experienced nothing like it before. So it was amazing, and I think that's what really got me into sim racing in a big way. So that's my sort of.
And then it's
my
just been
start.
a progression like most of us.
Yeah,
it just keeps getting
it's been
deeper and deeper.
Expensive habit ever since.
All right. So, well, what motivated you to want to produce your own pedal set?
Well, that idea came about because, having such a passion for sim racing, you get to try different products.
Right.
And I've had all kinds of pedals, from the earliest Driving Force GT to the red Momo, the black Momo, and later on to the G25, G27.
Right.
All those pedals I've tried. Then the Fanatics, all those pedals. The last pedal set I owned were the CSTs, from Todd Cannon, and they were a great set of pedals.
Yeah, sure. I had them too.
They were fantastic. But none of those pedals really had a way to adjust them to fit me personally.
Exactly.
So I always wanted to build something that could adjust to how I drive, not just adjust to everybody you can think of.
Right,
not sort of have a generic setup, but have a setup to where you can fit your own personal style. So
there just wasn't enough adjustments in the daggone things.
No,
it never was. It seemed like to me too.
Yeah, you could not get it. You could try your hardest, but you just can't get it to where it feels perfect for you. Most of the time. So I set out to make my own.
Great. This is a great looking set. Can you tell us a little bit about them? Just about the features that you like about them and makes them different from others?
Yeah. I think the biggest feature is the adjustability. It has to be.
Right.
You can adjust everything from the height of the pedal face, the position of the pedal face, the tension, the angle of the pedal arm, the amount of travel you have with the pedal arm, the potentiometer you can adjust. You can adjust the resolution on the potentiometer. And I think that really sets it apart from other pedal sets on the market. The same thing with the brake pedal, and we give you 2 extra bushings for a different feel. Right. If you want. You can move the load cell back and forth. We don't recommend it, but you can actually do it if you really want to. And the biggest feature is adjustability. It has to be.
Awesome. It's a great looking set. When I first, I saw pictures of it and I saw videos of it, but when you're sitting here with it and you can feel it, the substantial
Yeah.
make of these pedals, it's really, really nice. And so the next question I have to ask you is, from what I've seen so far, it's amazing to me that you're able to offer them at this price point. And I'm just, how can you do that?
Well, that's a little difficult. When my father and I sat down to talk about building a pedal set, we took a look at what was out there already. And we knew that if we didn't get the price right, that they weren't going to sell.
Right.
No matter what we put on these things, if the price isn't there, then they're just going to go somewhere else. The more higher end sets. So we knew from the very beginning that the price point was our biggest selling point. And sometimes you have to sacrifice certain
Sure.
things in order to do that. So
Right.
but we're extremely happy that we're able to give the public something at this price point. And there's not much between the $250 sets to the $800 sets.
Right.
There's hardly anything between that gap. So
you're right. Absolutely right. This is even between up to everything's like $900 now. It
Yeah.
seems like at least, and even these the pedals that come from Michael Main now, or he's just running the the hydraulic system on it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all you can get them as, and they're $1,200 with
Right,
shipping and
right,
stuff, a little
right.
bit more. So yeah, it's a real sweet spot for a heavy duty metal brake set or brake pedal set that just can do everything. It seems like to me, from what I'm seeing. Of course, we'll do our review later on it, but from what I can see right now, it's just I just said, wow, how can he do this at this price? It's it's this well built.
It definitely wasn't easy. It definitely was not easy. We would like to keep it this way,
Right.
as long as possible, but who knows later on down the line.
Yeah, things change.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Not necessarily in your control.
It's not.
There's a lot of things that you have
there
to
are a
do.
lot of different factors that determine a price point, and we made some sacrifices in the beginning, but I think that will help us in the end, in the long run.
Sure, I'm sure it will. Do you do all of your CNC machine work in-house?
Yes, everything you see here was done by me. I do all the design work. I do all the CNC work. I do everything you can imagine. The only thing that I really don't do is the business side of it, and that's my father. He takes care of the bills and the books, things
Right. like
that, which is very important.
Yeah, you need somebody to do that so you can stay in the shop and
Absolutely.
concentrate on what you're doing.
Absolutely. So without him, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. But yeah, everything that you see is done by me.
Did
one
you build
person.
your own CNC machine or buy one off the shelf?
It was a kit that we purchased from cncrouterparts.com, and I can't say enough about this company. These guys, I've made a couple of videos about this, but we've run into a couple of problems with that machine,
Yeah.
and all I had to do was tell them, hey, I got a problem with this. We'll send you another part out next day.
Ah,
And it's companies like that.
yes.
That I really admire. They care more about customers than they do the bottom line.
And those kind of companies stay in business a long time.
Yes,
too,
they do.
Because it
They
really
do.
matters to be able to have customer service like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Next thing is, I know you've run into some issues during the development of this pedal set, which is to be expected when building a new pedal set from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
It must be a great feeling to have these hurdles behind you now, and you're ready to start shipping them out.
Yes. This has been a long time coming.
I know, I've been following it too. I mean, come on, man, let's get these things out here.
It's been a 3-year research and development cycle. We started this back in 2012. I don't think I could have imagined that it would get this far and be this popular. But the only way I can put it is I'm very proud. I am extremely proud of what I've got.
You should be.
It
It
wasn't
really looks
easy,
great.
and a lot of long hours, a lot of sleepless nights.
I'm sure.
So it's taken me quite a bit to get to this point, but once it's, now that I know it's done and it's ready to ship, it's a huge relief. Huge relief.
I bet it is. Speaking of shipping, can you tell us a little bit about the shipping schedule? When are you going to start delivering these?
Yes, the release date is June 1st. And that they will go on sale at 12 noon Eastern, I guess you call it Eastern Daylight Time since it's Daylight Savings Time.
Right.
So it's EDT. So what'll happen is you'll go to the site. Once the noon hits, we'll flip the switch and you'll be able to order, the pedal sets right off the website. As an added bonus, we're going to be selling the curved pedals, the curved pedal face. I didn't bring them along today. I should have, but right. We're going to be selling those at the same time. And we've got pictures on the website too.
This is going to be the stock setup, and then there'll be an add-on for the
absolutely.
curves? Okay,
good. This is what you'll get when you buy them off the website. You'll get these flat faces that come with it. The curved pedal faces will be an add-on, so you'll be able to buy them as an addition to the pedal sets.
Well, personally, I do like the curved ones.
Yeah, a lot of people do. We've had a lot of compliments on those.
Yeah, but you can do just as well with the flat ones too. It's just
a
little add thing, the little comfort thing to me personally. But a lot of people will just probably stay with the flats.
I've had success either way.
Yeah.
I do like the feel of the curved ones, especially with socks. People who use socks and don't use shoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good feeling to get that nice smooth curve in the pedal as you're pressing it down. So yeah, I do like the curved pedal faces too. So.
Well, Chris, I imagine the demand for these pedals are going to be very, very high. Even if they cost another $100, $200 more than they do now, I imagine it would still be very high. How are you going to keep up with the demand for these things? Is a question I had to ask you.
Well, I think that's the $1 million question. I don't know. It's going to be difficult in the beginning.
Sure.
Like I said, it's just me doing this. So
right.
I'm going to work my butt off trying to get these out to people as quickly as possible. But I'm only one man, so I can't work miracles. But if it gets to a point where we know that we need extra help, then I don't think that I think we'll be in a position later on to actually hire that help and help us progress naturally.
Sure.
So
then that would be a great thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's about all the questions I have for you, unless there's something else that you want to tell everybody about the pedals or say anything else. This is the time to do it.
Not that I can think of. I
great.
just want everybody to know that I worked really hard on these. I'm very proud of them. And I hope that
you should be. They're really nice. In person, they look really nice. It's like I said, it's just a different thing when you have them in your hands. It's really a super set of pedals.
I appreciate that. We've gotten a lot of compliments, and that means so much to us after this much work. It really does. I really appreciate that.
All right, great. Once again, Chris, thanks so much for coming by SRG, man, and dropping these off. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you so much for letting me come down here and do this. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, there you have it. Right from the horse's mouth, all about these fantastic pedals. I'll be doing a review on these pedals later on, just don't have the time to do them now. And you'll see that review probably in another month or so. But I'm looking forward to reviewing these. These are a great set of pedals, I can already tell just by looking at them. And I've used a lot of different sets of pedals, so I should know. So anyway, that's about it. So I'm Barry Rowland. Thanks again for watching the Sim Racing Garage channel.